Far in the north of Italy's Lombardia region, tucked in between the Rhaetian Alps of Switzerland and the Orobiche Alps in Italy, you find the east-west valley of Valtellina. Here the Adda River flows from the Swiss Alps through the Valtellina Valley, then out to the west into Lake Como. The Alps protect this region from storms, causing a rain shadow that means that they receive less than 900 millimeters of rain annually. The valley's north side has terraces of vines planted to catch the sunlight of the steep vineyards. You won't find fog here. Perhaps that's why their primary grape, Nebbiolo, has traditionally gone by a different name. Here this noble grape is known as Chiavennasca. Vines here were planted on the steep hills to avoid the floods from the Adda River. On these steep slopes, the people of Valtellina built dry stone walls to create terraces on which to grow the grapes. There are more than 2,500 kilometers of these walls called Muretti in the region. They like to say this is equal to driving to Sicily and back. In 2018, the area was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. During harvest, the steep vineyards are especially challenging. Hand harvesting the grapes and getting them to the winery from these high terraces forces innovation. Some wineries have installed aerial pulley systems to get the grapes down from the terraces. Others employ helicopters. There are 5 main subzones within Valtellina. If you follow the Adda River from its start in Switzerland, quickly across the border into Tirano, you come first to the Valtellina subzone. The name comes from Vagel, which in the local dialect refers to small creeks in the region. These small creeks create more variations in soil and climate than you see in other subzones. With 140 hectares planted, this is the largest of the 5 subzones. The Inferno subzone, with its fiery name, covers 55 hectares. The signs for the subzone dot the hillsides. This rocky area is one of the warmest places in the valley and produces powerful wines in good years. The Grumello subzone covers 80 hectares and sits closest to the city of Sondrio, the heart of the region. You will recognize it by its castle that sits high amidst the vineyards. Sasella is perhaps the most famous subzone in Valtellina, covering 100 hectares. It takes its name from the Madonna della Sasella shrine, built into the rocky crag that dates back to the 16th century. The region is divided by the village of Terrace. To the east, you find bits of vineyard tucked in among the mountain. On the west, things open up a bit, allowing the wind to blow through the vines. The smallest sub-region is Orobiche, which has but 25 hectares of terraces. This was the last subzone to be recognized in 2002 and is the one region where new vines are being planted, as some abandoned vineyards are being reclaimed. This region is the furthest west and the closest to Lake Como and sees more influence from the lake. Within the region, there are multiple styles of wine based on Nebbiolo. Rosso di Valtellina DOC is the youngest style of wine made in Valtellina. The grapes for these wines can come from the entire region. Harvest yields are limited to no more than 10 tons per hectare of fruit and require a minimum of 6 months aging. This wine is fresh, bright, and easy drinking. Valtellina Superiore DOCG is produced from more specific regions within the Valtellina DOC, including the 5 subzones in the valley. Often you will see the name of the subzone on the label. No more than 8 tons per hectare of fruit are allowed, and aging must be for at least 2 years with 1 in wood. A reserva requires an additional year of aging. Sforzato di Valtellina DOCG is made in the passito method, with grapes harvested in shallow baskets and allowed to air dry before pressing. It was Italy's first dry red Passita wine to receive DOCG status in 2003, but this method dates back to the early 17th century. The grapes dry slowly in ventilated rooms called frutae until the 1st of December, when they can be pressed. At this point, the grapes would have lost approximately 1/3 of their weight. The wine must then age for 20 months, with at least 12 of those in wood. Did we talk about the dark side? The other side of the river holds the Orobiche Alps, and locals refer to it as the dark side because there is so much less sunlight that hits this side of the valley. The valley's north side is full. There is little to no place to put in additional vines, especially within the subzones. While most producers are not growing on the south side of the valley, some are experimenting with different varieties. We met Marcel Zanolare, who is innovating and working with multiple varieties biodynamically to see how they do. It is a far cry from almost everything else you see in the valley, and we look forward to sharing his insights in a future episode. The stunning beauty of this region is something that must be seen with your own eyes. Photos are gorgeous, but the scale is impossible to feel through an image. And finding these wines exported is not the easiest. Several producers, including Derupi, Arpepe, and Tenuta Scherze, can be found in the US, and I encourage you to seek them out and taste them. But honestly, this is a region that should be experienced. Get there if you can. But until then, we will be posting cellar interviews and small shorts to introduce you to the area, with a couple of full-length episodes of our vineyard tours with Marcel Zanolare and Marco Triaca with La Perla. Also, some pioneering women and their journey with a male-dominated industry. Join us all this month on Discovering Wine Country, Valtellina.